Hello YouTube and Star Wars fans, Slade Berlin here, and I once again have another video for you all today. Now, this video is a re-upload or a redo of my previous video because I recorded this video before, but due to some issues it was lost, so I decided just to remake this video again. As well, as you can see, I have a new backdrop for my figures, which means you can see the figures much more clearly now as opposed to what I was using before, which was my desktop screen. But getting into the review, today we're going to be reviewing the Star Wars Black Series Qui Gon Jinn figure. Now, obviously, if you guys have seen The Phantom Menace, you would know who Qui Gon Jinn is. He is the Jedi Master of Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker for a short time before he was killed by Darth Maul. And of course, he was played by my favorite actor, Liam Neeson. So firstly, you guys know how I do this. I always review the box first. So here's getting into the box. First, you have a nice shadow portrait of Qui Gon Jinn here. And of course, here's nice likeness to Liam Neeson. Here you have Qui Gon Jinn. The warning labels on the figure itself, on the figure box itself. This figure is number 40 in the Black Series toy line. And of course, there's that nice reflective red boxing that I like. The Black Series red packaging I always like. But here you have Star Wars. Nice raised letters, as you can, if you can see, nice reflective lettering. Let's see here. On here you got the back of the box, same thing. There goes number 40 in the figure line. Right here you have a nice description of the figure. If you wanted to read that, you can. I will leave it there for 2 seconds. There you go. Here it's the same thing, just in different languages. So here you got the different languages here. You got where you can buy the figure at. You got StarWars.com or StarWarsHasbro.com, the websites you can purchase these Black Series figures, even though I purchased mine off Amazon. Right here you have a nice black display of the box that says Qui Gon Jinn, and then you have a nice shadow outline that says Qui Gon, which I always like that they have that there. And of course on the bottom is just some rubbish. I don't know what that is. Oh, and I forgot, down here you also have the makers of it. If my camera can focus, it's Hasbro, which I like that they can make these toy lines. Now of course, as you all know, before I get into the actual figures itself, that I always review the accessories first before I go to the actual figures. Because I think that reviewing the accessories first is crucial, because if I review the figure first, the accessories is just going to be like, oh, it's not going to be nothing. So of course, getting into the first accessory, sorry about that, you have Qui-Gon's lightsaber. Honestly, this is probably the most straightest lightsaber I could possibly receive. Of course, it's a tiny bit of warping around the middle part here of the blade, but in terms of the blade, the green on this blade, or the green coloring of the blade itself, is magnificent, honestly, I can say the least. I just love how that green, well, basically when you move it like that, it looks like it's actually ignited. Getting into the nice close-up of the hilt. Nice detailing on the hilt. As you can see, there's that red ignition button there, as well as touches of black and silver paint along the hilt itself. Nice little splotches of black paint inside those vent type things, you can say. Let's see, nice detailing on the rim here and on the pommel. Nice black on the pommel right here. Nice black detailing. And of course there's the peg that pegs into the figure. And of course this blade is removable. So there you go, you have the blade, except when it's blade removable. Of course it does have a threaded tip which means that the blade is not going to just fall out of the hand of the hilt when you're using it. When you plug it in there, it stays in there with a soft click, and then it just stays in there, and it's not going to come out unless you take it back out. Stay straight. So there we have it. So let's see, okay, here. But another thing that they actually gave you, which I didn't expect them to actually give you, was they gave you another accessory, which was another hand. Of course, I guess that this is like his, his force hand, I suppose, like he's using the force or something, or trying to use his force to manipulate somebody's mind or something. Nice detailing on this hand, by the way. I'm actually surprised that they gave you this hand, because they could have just gave you the saber, but no, they gave you a hand also, which I think is really weird. But I mean, that's another accessory I can have, so I think that's a bonus in my expertise. Let's see. And now getting into the actual figure itself. Of course, as you can see, I'm going to start with the face sculpt first. I mean, the figure up close has some likeness to Liam Neeson, especially if you turn it to the side. It does if you turn it to the side, it really has a nice likeness to Liam Neeson. Although seeing the nose right here and the overall is head wise. Nice detailing in the hair here. Nice sculpt. Nice application of brownish paint, the black or brownish paint here with a touch of even browner hair tie right here. Nice detailing in his robes. Nice little splotches of brownish paint along the tan to give it a sort of dirty washover look. Nice detailing in the belt. Nice silver buckle right here, and there's the hole where the lightsaber goes into. See, nice detailing on this little bottom half right here. Nice pants are just typical brown pants. There's no detailing in them whatsoever, besides the wrinkles. Amazing detail in the boots here. You can see the little individual straps here. Nice application of brownish paint here for the boots with a nice wrinkle sculpt. And in the bottom to give his boots a type of wrinkle. Nice detailing on the bottom of his boots. The strap goes all the way here to the bottom of his boot. Nice detailing on the sole. No application of a little line right here that indicates, I guess, a design in the shoe whatsoever. And of course you have a nice detailing in the inner garb, inner tunic. Nice light up shade of brown here. Nice detailing in the beard here, as well as nice sculpt in the beard and paint in the beard. And the sideburns and his eyes. I think his eyes are a little bit too sunken in, but that's just me. It looks like his eyes are in more than what they should, but I guess that's just how the figure is made. Now, getting into the overall articulation of this figure, of course this figure does have standard Black Series articulation, though it might be a little hindered. Of course this figure does have, his arm can go up that far, and it can go back down that far, of course. His resting position, and it can go up that far. It can rotate 360 degrees. He does have a 360 degree motion at the shoulder, so it can go all the way around like that, and then it has 360 move at the shoulder here. He does not have a double jointed elbow, so his elbow can go about that far, which is even still far alone that is not double jointed. His elbow, his elbow can go forward and back too. It would be able to go 360 degrees if it wasn't for this bit right here, the end of the tunic. See his hand, he does have wrist movements. His wrist can go down that far and back up that far, and it has 360 degree movements in his wrist as well. He does have a ab crunch. Well, he kind of has an ab crunch. It's not much, but it's there obviously, as you can see here from how I'm positioning him and moving him around. His legs can go out that far and can go back that far, can go out fairly far, and then it can go back as well, in and out, back in. He does have a double jointed knee, which I kind of wondering why they gave him a double jointed knee, but then they didn't give him a double jointed elbow. I guess it's because of the way the robe is sculpted. So his leg is double jointed there. It can go in back, can go forward that far. Then it can go back out. Obviously, he does have a 360-degree movement for his legs as well. And yes, of course, for the feet, he does have an ankle rocker pivot. It goes down fairly well. I think that's really good wise for how far it can go down, and it obviously can go back up that much. And of course, it does have a 360-degree swivel at the ankle. So overall, this fit, and of course, his head does go. I almost forgot about this. His head does go 360 degrees. It's a bit hindered by the hair here, but not too much. Obviously, I don't know why you'd be making his head go all the way around or that far back. But of course, he can look to the side really well. And he can also look up. He obviously can't look up because he's hindered by the hair. But he can look down fairly well. So, of course, like I said, it's not that many. It's not bad articulation, but it's what you would expect with the type of figure as it is an overall sculpt. Also, I can show you all here that how the interchangeable hand. Of course, his hand just pops out that easy. Then you just take the other hand and you just plug it in there, and it stays in there fairly well too. So of course, now you have him with an alternate force hand, like he's conjuring using the force, whatever. And our lightsaber obviously can fit in his hand. His hand is actually fairly hard plastic, which I'm surprised they did that, because they could have just gave him a really loose plastic type wise for the hand, but no, they actually gave you a nice little thick design for the hand. Because he has such good joints in his elbows, the lightsaber actually can go up relatively well to his face. As you can see here, it can go that far up. I mean, my only gripe is it's just a teeny bit loose in the hand. It's not really much of an issue per se. I just wish that he had I wish he just had a tighter, more grip wise on the saber from how you would expect. Of course, here's how it looks when he's moving it around. It looks like it's really well on camera, as well as my little backdrop. But yeah, that is the figure. Obviously, if I have to rate this figure, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10, because overall, we've all been waiting for a Qui Gon Jinn Black Series figure to be released from Hasbro. Because I know before, you would always have the smaller scale models of him, or they would have the figure arts, which has a little bit more better sculpt in terms of the overall face. But you know how I am. I actually like Black Series figures over the figure arts figures, mainly before their sculpt and the ability to hide the joints on their Black Series figures, because I know for the figure arts toy lines, their joints are fairly shown easy, all the notches and whatever. But yeah, if I had to rate this figure, I'd rate it a solid 10 out of 10 for its overall sculpt and its likeness, and because Qui Gon Jinn is my favorite character from the Star Wars universe, especially from the film, mainly because he's played by Liam Neeson, which is my favorite actor. But yeah, of course, I'll be doing more figure art videos in the future. But if you all like this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and have a nice day.